Hi guys, this is Erica Weston with Fox Sports Midwest, and you're listening to my favorite St. Louis Blues hockey podcast, Let's Go Blues Radio.
Support for Let's Go Blues Radio is brought to you in part by Manscaped, the very best in men's below-the-waist grooming.
Oh my God.
Get 20% off and free shipping with promo code LGB at manscaped.com. Look good, smell good, feel good with Manscaped.
As the world's only personalized vitamin platform based on a health assessment and your DNA, ID Life provides its members with high-quality ingredients backed by pure science.
It's science.
Check out rockinthatidlife.com and speak with Dustin about how you can reach your goals today. That's rockinthatidlife.com.
Welcome to Season 9, Episode 23 of Let's Go Blues Radio. We're the often imitated but never duplicated. We're the original St. Louis Blues hockey podcast. Support for Let's Go Blues Radio is brought to you by Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with promo code LGB. Look good, smell good, feel good with Manscaped. And by ID Life, the world's only truly personalized vitamin platform based on a health assessment of your DNA. Visit rockinthatidlife.com for more information. That's rockinthatidlife.com and get 10% off by texting Dustin at 636-393-8745 and tell him Let's Go Blues Radio sent you. We're broadcasting live under 9 inches of snow this Wednesday, February 17th, 2021. This is franchise episode number 289 all time. Your hosts tonight are yours truly, Curt Price, Bill Day, and Jeff Ponder. And for your listening pleasure, for the next little while, we'll be talking St. Louis Blues hockey. The injury bug, we're finally done with Arizona. We're looking ahead at San Jose. A bunch of games have been rescheduled. We'll talk about an article that appeared in the Athletic. And some more goodness. So to interact with the show on social media, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just search for Let's Go Blues Radio or go to letsgoblues.com where you can find past episodes of the show, browse the fan discussion forum, and visit our shop where you can get some awesome Blues-themed t-shirts and stickers that help support the show. And all of our social media links are on there as well. So we're dual live streaming right now on YouTube and Facebook. Thanks for joining us. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the show. You'll get notifications when we go live. Wouldn't that be nice? What's happening, fellas? You guys handling the snow okay? At least we're not in Texas, right?
9 inches.
Yeah,
nothing,
we have power.
Different for you, right? Right, Curt?
What's that?
9 inches. Nothing new for you.
No. That's a daily occurrence.
Mm-hmm.
Only when I get excited, though. I'm a grower, not a shower.
Yep. I haven't done anything in the snow, so I had a weird situation the other day, and those not in St. Louis, I'm sure you've heard. The Midwest is battling what is it called? The polar vortex is what I'm going to call it, even though it's probably not correct. I had a situation where I left the other day and did not plow or do anything on my driveway, didn't lay any driveway meltdown or anything. And I left and no problems getting out, but getting in was an issue. So you know what my intelligent ass thought would be a smart idea was go in with some speed, right? Just go up that driveway, get some speed, and go up. And I did that, and ended up in the front yard.
Wow.
So I ended up having to, because I was like, man, this is the only time I'm planning on leaving. I don't want to have to shovel it. It's going to melt eventually. I'm not leaving the next couple days. So, yeah, I look back now and I ended up having to do more work because I had to shovel my car out of the front yard as well as shovel the driveway. So I did way more work.
I didn't have any of that. Bill, how's the weather on your side of town?
On my side of the field that divides our houses,
right?
It's crazy. I mean, how much snow we got, and I will say that I am super grateful to have a resident Canadian who is all about getting out and doing the shoveling.
Nice.
I had my kids help me yesterday shovel. And it wasn't too bad. You get two little helpers out there. I do the bulk of the work, and then they're kind of getting the remnants or the leftovers that and so that was all right. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I always feel terrible, when it happens. But this year, like, my work is so crazy right now. I have so little time that I can't just pick up and go outside and help shovel. But
Sure, it's good.
Like we covered previously, Julie is a former resident of Canada, and it's just like
What?
the second the snow falls, she's already planning.
She has a map of the driveway. Best plan of attack, most efficient way to clear the driveway.
Right. Most embarrassing thing for me was I was out running some errands before the snow hit, and one of them was to pick up salt. And I picked up the wrong kind.
Big grains of salt.
I got home. Yeah, I got home and was informed that it was the wrong kind. So I had to go back to the hardware store and explain that I was told I bought the wrong kind of salt.
What kind of salt is the wrong
kind? Just plain
Table
rock
salt.
Oh, you bought rock salt. You didn't buy the what's it called? The kind you're supposed to buy
the heat melt.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
The ice melt heat stuff. It makes a huge difference and doesn't destroy your driveway.
I was gonna say, it probably saves your driveway. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I know these things, but my mind is so preoccupied with other things right now that I'm just do what I told and do it wrong.
See, it's not so much your fault. It's the store for selling the wrong kind of salt to you. Blame them. They shouldn't even have that stuff in stock. If it ruins your driveway, why sell it? If there's better stuff available, just carry that.
Yeah, it's probably because it's the better stuff sells out quickly and they need something to satisfy people. But in this case, went into the hardware store and they had all kinds, and I just picked the wrong one. I'm a moron.
It's probably cheaper too, I imagine, the rock salt, right? I guess.
Oh yeah, it was like $3 a bag cheaper.
Yeah, and maybe folks with long driveways around here don't want to spend a ton, and they'll just put the rock salt down on like a rock driveway, for example. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
The official beer is episode number 289. You can follow us on the Untapped app. My handle is at cprice12. Jeff's is at jponder94. And Bill's is Billy Blue Note 33.
What's my new name?
Billy Blue Note, I guess.
Billy Blue Note.
With a P? Yeah.
I'll have to warm to that.
I know you've got a celebratory beer tonight, Bill. So what do you got?
Yes, I do. So we talked about the Madagascar release last week. Well, I went and picked it up this weekend and decided that tonight there's good cause to celebrate. And so I am doing the maple variety of Madagascar as my beer of the show tonight. And wow, like when I finally got through, figured out how to cut off the wax and get into the beer, the maple is very, very present. It is like, hey, am I about to eat waffles or drink a beer? But it's really good. I'm loving it.
So once you got the wax off, you were good.
Yes. Wax on? No. Wax off? Yes.
I'm jealous of the Madagascar. I didn't go on and get any. I could have after the fact. There was still some available, but what I wanted was gone, and I'm just kind of annoyed with that. So I just kind of threw my hands up and walked away. Yeah, you
might still be able to get some. I don't know. I haven't seen if they posted, but
yeah, I'm sure. You know what? I probably could go there, and they probably have something there. So I could probably get something. But Jeff, what do you got?
Well, fellas, out of my wonderful Blues Jameson mug, cup.
It's a glass. Is it plastic? Plastic or glass?
It's glass.
That's a glass then.
Oh, it's
a
glass.
glass.
Yeah. I'm kind of dumb. Urban Chestnut Brewing Company is sponsoring unofficially my beer tonight.
Oh, I was going to say, you got a side gig going on there.
No, I do not. That's why it's unofficial. This is an IPA. I keep holding it in the wrong spot. Let me.
It's the opposite direction. Always the opposite direction. It's hard to.
I know, and I always go stage right, not stage left. Right?
Exit stage left, stage right.
That's a thespian comment for anybody who might be involved in that world. But anyway,
that's a Snagglepuss comment from cartoons, my era. Exit stage right, or stage left, whatever he says.
Oh,
Snagglepuss, the pink leopard, whatever he is. Snagglepuss, the cartoon, the pink, not the pink panther.
One of the Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah. Exit stage. He's got like a collar and cuffs. He's pink, and his tagline is "Exit stage left," or stage right, one of the two.
Yeah, that does not ring a bell with me.
Oh wow.
Well, anyway,
Youngin.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm the young one here, I guess.
Snagglepuss.
Yeah, Snagglepuss. Let's look that one up. Maybe that'll be our show image on Instagram this week.
I like it.
So yeah, Midwest Coast IPA Ale. We've talked on the show about how we're not really fans of IPA. There are a few St. Louis breweries who have good IPAs. In my eyes, and Urban Chestnut Fantasyland is actually one of my favorites, right there with the beauty of Center Ice Brewery. You can see if you're watching the video here, very, very clear and crisp. Looks almost like it's a lager. Good stuff. Anybody who is interested in trying an IPA they may not have tried, Fantasyland is the way to go.
You've had it on the show before, have you not?
I have.
I know you have. Yeah,
it's one of my favorites. Yep.
Yeah. I would. Let me see. I'm going to try and do this here. I'm going to put that there. Oh, it's going to work. I'll show. I don't know if I get the volume here, but here you can check.
Oh, okay. I remember Snagglepuss. Okay. Yep. I lost you. We lost you, Curt.
I know. I couldn't do my mic at the same time as that, so I didn't feel like building a whole stage for it, so I just did that. But yeah.
Okay, I do remember Snagglepuss now. Okay.
There you go. Mine is my beer of the big shoe is peanut butter chocolate absence of light from Four Hands Brewery in St. Louis. The peanut butter chocolate milk stout from it's called Absence of Light. I've had this on the show a number of times. One of my favorites. It is seasonal and it is available now, and I love it. What stinks about this time of year though is that it's always nice when you go out to bars or clubs or whatever, restaurants, and then they would have seasonal beers on tap, and they would have this on tap. There's always a special treat for me to get this on tap when I go out. Well, with COVID, not going out near as much, not doing that kind of thing near as much, so if at all. So yeah, I'm kind of sad because I always look forward to seeing who has this on tap in the St. Louis area, and that has not been a thing. So I guess maybe next year we'll give it a go.
There's always next year.
What does this pair with? I do have brownies upstairs though. I could get one of those.
Special brownies?
No. Well, they're cosmic. If you make that.
Oh, those are special brownies.
They're pretty good. Cosmic brownies. They don't taste anything like regular brownies, right? They're not really the same thing at all. They're their own little category of brownie. They taste fake. They taste manufactured, but I like it. I can't explain. It's hard to explain.
So good.
Yeah, I like the way it tastes. Now, I'd rather have a regular brownie, a good one, but yeah, cosmic brownies are good.
Real quick, while we're on beers of the episode,
yes.
We got a beer comment here. Darren Grice over on the Facebook chat.
I'm gonna say Grice,
which, by the way, let's go with Grice. Gries. Darren, which, by the way, a new live listener. I believe. Welcome to the show, Darren. Narrow Gauge is the best beer in St. Louis. I've never had it. How about you, fellas?
I've heard great things about Narrow Gauge. I've never been there though.
Yeah, same. I think I have one of my friends gave me like a free pour from there that I've never made the time to get over there. So
to do that. That's the one in Florissant. Okay.
They've won awards. I do believe that their brewery, when they came out with the best 100 craft breweries in the U.S., Wasn't Narrow Gauge the top-rated local brewery? I believe.
Yep.
I think so.
Yeah. Four Hands was
it's,
on there too.
It's usually right and perennial. It's
Yeah.
usually Four Hands, Narrow Gauge, perennial, and then Side Project.
Yep.
Do they have a drinking room? Maybe that's a good spot to go watch a game sometime.
You would most of the craft breweries, the microbrews have tasting rooms now. So if you don't, you're missing out. I mean, that's
Yeah, we'll have to. I'll see if they do. And shit, that'd be a good spot to go catch a game other than center ice. Of course.
Yeah, I mean, center ice is a great place to watch a game, and hang out. Four Hands is a great place to hang out. Urban Chestnut, fun place. The one in the Grove. Yeah, that's a fun place. Yeah, lots of great environment, fun place to hang out. Today in Blues history, courtesy of the @STL Blues History Twitter account, February 17th, 2019, the St. Louis Blues tie a franchise record with their 10th straight win. Jordan Binnington sets the Blues rookie record with his 8th straight win. The Blues set a franchise record for not trailing for 433 minutes and 8 seconds. The Blues record 3 straight shutouts for the 5th time, and it was versus the Minnesota Wild. I don't think I quite remember the 433 minute streak. That's crazy.
Oh,
I mean, I believe it, but I don't remember it, it at the time. So that's what? That's like 8 games? No,
yeah.
7 games? 7 games. 7 plus.
Games, I believe.
7 plus.
And then did they extend that the next game in against Toronto? But then Toronto ended up taking the lead, I think, late in the third. But pretty sure they extended that.
Yeah, and then we beat Toronto for the 11th win, and that was the record.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
February 17th, 1981, the St. Louis Blues extend their unbeaten streak to 9 straight games in their 5-2 win versus the Calgary Flames. Mike Liut set the Blues' undefeated streak for goalies at 16 games, 10-0-6 over that span. And it's interesting, there's a video clip along with this tweet from STL Blues History. The sportscaster, the news sportscaster, the anchor guy, the sports guy on the news, pronounced Liut's name Luit. And it wasn't a mistake. He said it like 3 or 4 times. Luit. He had the U and the I flipped. Like he pronounced it LOO-EET, Luit. Very strange.
Bill will love to hear that a former co-host of this show, Justin Wilson, he, for whatever reason, that's just one of those names he can't say either. He knows Blues history. I used to have a Liut jersey, and every time I wore it, he'd go, "Oh, you got the Luit on tonight."
Luit.
And I'm like, it's Liut. And he goes, "I know, but I can't fucking say it every time." And yeah, every time he would say Luit, Luit, Luit. I'm like, dude, Liut. Every time.
Yeah, it's like dairy can't say breakfast. Breakfast.
Yeah.
I love it.
Or it's like
there's a word that I can't say. I can't say internship properly.
You just did internship.
No, I didn't. Internship.
You put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Emphasis on the wrong syllable. Yep, I did. Yeah, I can't say it without doing it incorrectly. It's internship to me.
Internship, but you can physically say internship, right?
Internship. Internship. There you go.
Yeah.
I got to really think about it, but yes.
That's crazy.
I know.
Yeah, the crazy thing, I'm watching that video right now, and it's a Canadian broadcaster that can't get Liut's name right.
That's why I thought it was too. Is probably the Calgary's newscast.
Yeah,
interesting. A word I have trouble with is okay. For a while, I would say as a joke when I'd say sorry, I would say sorry. Okay? Sorry. And I said it so much that I say it like without thinking now. I say sorry.
Yeah, no, that's just your hidden Canadian coming out.
Like Calgary and my my sorries.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's the one word. It's a fancy word, and get it wrong every time.
Galoshes.
But now I can't.
Bumbershoot.
Yeah, no. Those are easy. It'll come to me. I'll say it later in the show, and I'll purposely get it right.
Just blurt it out, yeah. Whatever you think of it, just whatever we're talking about.
Dolores.
Mulva?
February 17th, 1995. The St. Louis Vipers named Bernie Federico the president and general manager. Perry Turnbull was named the head coach and drafted Kevin Plager, Barclay Plager's son, in the first round of the RHI draft, which is the Roller Hockey International. He's got some video posted as well of an interview with Perry Turnbull at halftime and a little pep game, a halftime pep talk to the team in 1995. I loved RHI. I loved it. I loved it. I went to the All-Star game, the All-Star game in St. Louis when I was here. I went to it. That was fun. I loved it. Fantastic.
I need to find the name of it. I'm going to look it up if Bill has anything to say. But there's a great documentary. I think it's on Netflix.
I watched it.
You watched it? Yeah,
yep.
I loved it. I mean, it was very. I mean, no offense to anybody who made it, but I mean, it was very second rate. You know, it was clearly a B type documentary, but it was really fun to sit and watch and see the history of RHI.
Yep, agreed. Oh. Why don't you vamp for a second here?
Okay. Right, so I remembered the word. All right. So it's the fancy word that I always pronounce wrong is anathema, and I say anathema. I'm going to throw this in there. Anathema. Oh God, I sound like a hick.
I don't even know
anathema.
I don't even know what that word means. What does that word mean?
It's like antithesis. It's like
I don't know what that word means.
No,
I know what that word.
Man,
quit using big words on this show. What is wrong with you?
2-syllable max.
Yeah,
we got a 2-syllable max on this show.
No, it's
come on.
We got a CBC education talking here. Come on.
That's right. So for anybody who hasn't Googled it to look it up, the definition is something or someone that one vehemently dislikes. So, the Detroit Red Wings, right?
What Wings?
Are anathema to Blues fans.
Yeah, your words are very high class, Bill. Do you know what else is high class?
Oh, what, Curt?
Manscaped.
I'm telling you, you better be prepared because when I yank it out, everybody in that audience, with the exception of my wife, is going to be running for the exits.
Hey, fellas. We are in the thick of winter and a storms are brewing. It looks like 1 to 3 inches are in the forecast when you trim that hibernation bush that's taking place in your pants. Luckily, our partners at Manscaped specialize in products to make sure you're walking around town with beautiful snowballs. The Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer is the best hygiene tool for the modern man. And because of their ceramic blade and advanced skin-safe technology, snags on your snowballs will be reduced. It's also waterproof so you can trim in the shower or jacuzzi if you're a savage. Get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with promo code LGB. That's 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with promo code LGB. Thanks, Manscaped, for making our winter wieners look so good.
It's a hard life picking stones and pulling teats, but sure as God's got sandals, it beats fighting dudes with treasure trails.
You hear that right there? Can you hear that? Yeah.
Oh my.
That's the sound. That's the sound of safeness around your balls right there. That's the Manscaped Lawnmower 3.0. Fantastic.
That's actually the sound of Curt trimming during the show for you podcast.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Look at that. And for those watching on YouTube, that light I'm shining on the camera, that's a nice little light you got there. Because you want to see what you want to be able to see what you're doing when you're using the Lawnmower 3.0. Got that, and we got the Manscaped Refined Cologne, which is fantastic. And I've talked before about it's pretty strong. So a little goes a long way. So the bottle lasts forever. So keep that in mind. That's good stuff. A couple of bottles of the conditioner and the ball deodorant and the ball toner. I mean, this is good stuff, people. I feel like I'm on QVC.
I was going to say, so like if you order now, we'll drop the price by $30 and you'll get a free gift.
It's got Sony. It's got Sony guts. Sony guts. Who knows that? Who's familiar with the Tom Hanks SNL skit about the QVC selling a knockoff QVC selling knockoff equipment? All the equipment has Sony guts. Okay, that's funny, but trust me, it's funny.
Yeah.
Sony guts.
Take your word for it.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah. By the way, the name of that documentary was The Rock and Rollers: The Wild Sport of Professional Roller Hockey.
Yeah, that was good. I mean, it was like you said, it was a second-rate production, but but the content was good.
Yeah,
you know, what they brought was
well,
good.
and I was interested to find out that the expansion to the Vipers and to the other teams, like that was the beginning of the end for the RHI, because they started on the West Coast, right?
No,
and
the Vipers were what's the word?
Founding inaugural team.
Yeah, they were a cornerstone team of the league. They were with it from the start.
Were they? Okay, well, either way, they were mostly like on the West Coast, and they picked off really well in California and over there. But then they started expanding, and that was when they started having a downfall.
I think it was
unfortunate.
It was Anaheim and St. Louis, though, the two teams that were like in it from start to finish. They were every year they had it. St. Louis and Anaheim were in it. The Anaheim was it Bullfrogs? I think it was. They were from the very first season to the very end. Even they skipped a season in 90. I think it was 98. I think, and then they came back in 99, and St. Louis won the championship in 99, and then they folded after that.
What was the other roller hockey? The beach roller hockey. Did you guys ever watch that?
Yeah,
Pro Beach Hockey.
Do you know where I associate that with? I associate that with Oak Hill. No, I'm sorry, Ballpark. I associate that with the ballpark in Belleville, Illinois, where we played floor hockey in a league on an indoor soccer field with AstroTurf, and they closed off the soccer goals and put hockey goals out on the rink. It was like the Taj Mahal for street hockey, I guess. It was fun. It was just fun.
Yeah, to this day, that's some of the most fun I've ever had playing hockey. Like, just absolutely love that.
Yeah.
And the fact that the leagues were so unbalanced. 16-year-old kids going up against 50-year-old drunk guys from the Ultimate Sports Bar. That was great.
It was because my brother Keith, who was actually in the YouTube chat right now. If he's still on there. I'm sure he is. He was challenged to fight by a 45-year-old guy. Keith had to be like 14 years old or something. It was nuts. Well, Keith did call his wife a bitch. So from when she was yelling, she was yelling her head off, and Keith turned and yelled at her, and the guy on the rink at the time turned to Keith and said, "That's my wife," and we're like, "Oh man, here we go."
We had some great stories from that that we'll have to revisit for maybe a summer show sometime.
I did. No kidding. Right. I put, I don't know. I'm sure I shared it with you at some point, but home movies of us playing in games I put on YouTube. It's out there. So the Ballpark Sports Center in O'Fallon, Illinois. That's what that was. Whew. So Blues topics. Avoiding COVID. The Blues are avoiding COVID so far, but not so much the injuries. An update on Tyler Bozak was that he was not on the ice again. And Berube was asked about that, and he said he's a ways away, which kind of sparked a lot of discussion on Twitter where I saw it, where people were just automatically pissed off again at Mark Stone and the NHL player safety for the hit and then not suspending him because of it. So he'll be eligible after tomorrow's game to be retroactively placed on the LTIR as Thursday's game will be his 10th straight. So the qualifications for LTIR is either 10 games missed or 24 days. But yeah, I don't know why would they would put him on LTIR unless they wanted to free up cap space to do something, because there's no point in doing that otherwise. I mean, they can do it at any time after tomorrow, or actually at any time. They don't have to do it. They can put him on LTIR right now if they want. I thought it was not, you couldn't do retroactive LTIR, but I had to correct myself online. Turns out you can. So, yeah, Mark Stone, in my opinion, you guys may feel differently, but I think Mark Stone should be public enemy number 1 in St. Louis right now. And it's a shame we don't play them until March 12th, something like that. So it's almost a month until we play them. But in response to Berube's he's a ways away comment, Cam Jansen tweeted, yeah, I might have to catch Stone with his head down. Just saying, I hate hearing this news. So I'm with Jansen. I want Stone laid out.
Of course we're gonna agree with friend of the show, Cam Jansen.
Friend of the show, Cam Jansen.
No, he's right, 100%. I love what we talked about it at the time when Faulk went after him, and you got to think that that's enough. But at least for me, the Blues stepped up right away in the game and challenged him to a fight, and I love that. But the fact that Bozak is still out, I mean, at this point, it's been a month, right? I mean, something like that, right?
It's been 24. It'll be 10 games missed
days.
Tomorrow. 10 games missed. I don't know the
days,
I don't know the days, but it's 10 games missed.
It'll
tomorrow.
at least be a month. By the time he comes back, probably more. So yeah, I'm not saying go out and purposely deliver a headshot, but man, when he's in the corner, do not let up. Fucking go right after him and deliver one of the biggest hits you've ever delivered by any player. I don't care who it is.
His ambivalence to the situation just infuriates me more. Like
Too big a word.
It makes me madder.
I was talking about ambivalence.
Okay. It makes me, yeah. But after the game, he was asked in the press conference, "Were you expecting to fight after the hit?" And he goes, "No, not really. I didn't. He didn't think there's anything wrong with it." Which I'm like, just pisses me off even more that he feels that way. It makes me want him to suffer because of his ambivalence. Sorry, Jeff.
Hey, let's try to avoid the multisyllabic words if at all possible.
I'm trying. It's the first thing that popped in my head. So
you're speaking to a hockey audience here, buddy.
I know. I got it. Sorry. I'll try and do better next time. Torrey Krug is Berube initially said that he was day to day after last game with an upper body injury after Krug left Monday's game, but he was on the ice today in practice. Luke Korak said he is probably fine, but being on the ice in practice doesn't necessarily mean you're not still day to day. So based on what is being said, it doesn't seem to be anything that would keep him out of the lineup for long term. So that's good. Jaden Schwartz.
Real quick, Torrey Krug. That was he was not shying away from contact, from what I hear in practice either. Which, players might be told, "Hey, ease up on him. He's not a guy that's supposed to be getting contact right now." Doesn't seem to be hearing any of that out of practice. So I think we will see him tomorrow night.
Yep. Jaden Schwartz is day to day with a lower body injury. And, Schwartz has avoided the injury bug for a long time. So after being injury prone a lot, his first was a few years ago.
Right. And it seems like, so it was a couple of years ago, it was a game against the Coyotes, back when they were the Phoenix Coyotes, that he took a shot off the ankle, missed a couple of games, came back, and then a game against the Red Wings broke that same ankle. So hopefully that's not what we're talking about here. But yeah, that's a huge loss. And having, the other news that we're going to get to here in a second, Scott Perunovich, not expected to play a whole lot as a rookie, but done for the year. another injury. Having that lack of defensive depth now is a little bit scary. Thinking Carl Gunnarsson is going to get 20 plus minutes a game until Krug's back scares the hell out of me. I love Boom Boom, but I his time here may have been done before this season. So
I mean, not to step too far into speculation here, but I would add that I could see the Blues, if there's going to be a move made anytime soon, I could see it being for another defenseman and then either bumping Gunnarsson down to the taxi squad or put on waivers, which he would have to clear. Because I think that is one thing that is lacking right now is another solid number 5 or 6 defenseman.
I think that's a good point, because it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to bring in a forward when you just added Hoffman and you're supposed to get Tarasenko back too. So you're already going to have a forward coming back of Tarasenko's caliber. So it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to add to the forward group if you're going to add anywhere. I mean, defense is a no-brainer, especially with the way that things are going. I mean, it's there are issues right now with the defense. So. I mean, not everywhere. I mean, there are highlights, obviously.
Robert, let's face it. When we get Tarasenko back, it's like making a trade.
I mean, it is. People make fun of that, and I was going to too. But I'm gonna flip it around now, and say no. It kind of is like making a trade. I mean, if he's out of the lineup for so long. You bring him back for nothing. It's like making a free trade. It's like getting free. It's like finding $20 on the ground. That's what it's like. Adding Tarasenko to the lineup.
Well, I guess it depends on what Tarasenko we're getting. Are we getting a pre-Stanley Cup win Tarasenko, or are we getting bubble Tarasenko? Bubble Tarasenko, It's like getting 50 cents.
I was
like
$10.
Like Stanley Cup Tarasenko, that's like $50.
It's interesting because when he came back in the bubble, his shoulder was not right. They didn't let on it wasn't right. They after the fact, they said it didn't heal correctly. He tried to play it through it, and with it, he couldn't. I mean, and he injured it. So they went in and fixed it, and they're saying now that it's fixed correctly. So if you buy that spin, maybe it's true. I don't know. It could be. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But if that is the case, and his shoulder is truly fixed, better than last time, then he should be better than the bubble. I mean, easily.
Well, let's just hope that Doug Armstrong has more faith in the surgeon that does this. Did the work on Tarasenko, and hopefully it's not the same, because Armstrong was quick to get rid of Fabry with that history of knee problems. So yeah.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah, I heard the one that did Robbie Fabry surgery was Dr. Art Lippo. So I'm hoping they didn't go back to the same guy.
Yeah. Did he make a ridiculous amount of snarky comments during the surgery? Because if Art Lippo was doing the surgery, that's all you'd hear would be snark.
That is his expertise, is snark during surgery, I hear. So yes. I don't know how much that helped, but apparently not very much.
A bunch of comments in the YouTube chat. We got Keith Price saying, well, I'm not sure what this reference is. Patrick Waugh, Mark Messier, Kevin Slayton.
I was wondering what that was about.
I'm not sure. But Kevin Slayton, he's still around. You know that? He's still doing radio on some obscure station in St. Louis.
Do you think that maybe your brother's having like an aneurysm there? Like maybe he just is having epilepsy and he's just typing random things into the keyboard? I don't
know.
Maybe it's autocorrect.
If you need help, text me, Keith. If you need help.
If you need help, text Kevin Slayton again.
Where did the name the Vipers come from? Keith asked. That's a good question. I'm not sure. There are no vipers in the area. We don't have viper snakes here.
Sure we do.
Find out. Keep
going. What? What kind of viper?
Pit vipers, all kind. You don't know snakes.
I'm-
Copperhead. Copperhead is
The copperhead's a viper?
Is a pit viper.
Is it really?
It's a pit viper. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Timber rattlesnakes. Pit viper.
But the viper logo was not a copperhead.
Was a cobra. It was
Yeah.
more of a cobra.
Yeah. Okay. I guess that's what I was thinking of when I think of viper. I was thinking of more of a cobra.
Misleading advertising.
The purple cobras, if you will.
Right.
Hey, there's a great trivia question for anybody who is interested in trivia in St. Louis. Last official sporting event played at the St. Louis Arena, August 16th, 1994. What was it?
It was a high school game, wasn't it?
It was not.
College game? It was.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say it was a St. Louis Vipers game.
Oh my God, Bill, how'd you get that?
I don't know.
St. Louis Vipers versus the Tampa Bay Tritons in front of 11,000 fans. That was the second largest Vipers home crowd. But no, I'm not seeing anything about why they were named the Vipers. I don't know.
What else got here in the chat? Austin Lynch, there you go. Here for the floor hockey game. Do you guys? Austin Lynch says, "Do you guys wish the Blues had the chance to play in the Lake Tahoe series since they didn't get to play in the Winter Classic this year?" You know, I was. Go ahead, Bill.
I was going to say, I think they'll just reschedule the outdoor game in Minnesota next year.
Yeah,
I think that'll be one of the first games back. But do I wish the Blues were playing in Tahoe? Yes. I have played that golf course. That's the Edgewood Tahoe. It's where the American Century Classic is every year. It's the big amateur game that usually Mark Mulder and Tony Romo are close to the top of the leaderboard. TJ Oshie plays in it. A couple of years ago, we were out there for my sister's wedding and actually played the course. It's the best course I've ever played by far. It's beautiful.
You know the best course I ever played on? Poipu Bay Golf Course in Hawaii. It was right on the ocean.
Whoa!
It was, and the PGA Tour was coming there in like a month. So that was pretty cool. That was a beautiful. I didn't even care how I shot. It was just there were a number of holes that ran the entire coast. You know, the entire hole was on the coast. Just beautiful, amazing.
Yeah.
And it was part of we played as part of a tournament, and we actually tied for the tournament lead, but another team turned their scorecard in. Like another team came up first or something, and got the first place before us, even though we had more birdies on our card, which was interesting. I wasn't sure what the tiebreak was, but somehow they got the tiebreak, even though we had more birdies. I'm a little bitter about that still. Not like 20 years ago.
Like best course I've ever played, Tower T here in St. Louis. I'm kidding.
I was gonna make that joke actually.
Yeah, there you go. No, best I ever played was I played Tapawingo. And I love that course. I thought actually it wasn't the one here. It was the one in Illinois, right? Where is that one? Let me look it up. I thought it was a Tapawingo. Maybe not. I might be lying to you guys. I'll get back to you.
Yeah, that's another good topic for another show. Best golf course, favorite golf course in the area.
The Ozarks are up there.
Yeah, Ozarks have some great golf. But yeah, the getting back to the Tahoe thing, we played there. It was mid-August when we were there, or no, early August, and we were there 2 weeks after the American Century, and the signage was still up, and just it kind of felt like we were playing there without the fans, except that it got like, you know, when the American Centuries played, you always see people out on boats and, you know, all the women in bikinis and stuff. When we played, it dropped down to the upper 30s with a rainstorm moved through while we were playing, and it was miserable. but it was also the best time I've ever had playing golf.
What was the
I
name?
thought it was Tapawingo. It's Skokie. I played Skokie before, which is nice. Out in Glencoe.
What was the course we played at, Bill, in the Ozarks? It was like really cold.
Kinderhook?
Old Kinderhook. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we didn't finish it because it was cold and it got dark. And then we had to book it over to the dugout or whatever it was called to watch the Cardinals and Dodgers playoff game.
Yep.
That was great.
That was awesome.
And that was the Kershaw game. That was the Kershaw game. One of the Kershaw games when we came back on him late. That was great.
Yeah. Was it? I think it was the game that was it Chris Duncan took him deep.
Might have been.
It was Duncan the first series, and then it was Matt Adams after that.
And Carpenter got him too once.
Yeah, it was always a lefty that took him deep.
Yeah, right. The unexpected.
I'll add real quick with the Lake Tahoe thing. I love that idea by the NHL. We even talked about it on this show. We keep hearing, the Winter Classic. It's like they always pitch the, going back to their roots. This actually is kind of going back to their roots, and I love it. I would love to see the Blues involved in something like this in the future.
Yeah, I mean, you always see the promo videos that that people throw out there at the beginning of the season, with players going out on the virgin ice on the frozen lakes and around Banff and the resort towns in Canada. It would be amazing. And I know that there was some speculation that the NHL was going to try to open this year on a lake in Canada, but it comes down to it. It's America. It's golf courses and money. Edgewood's a great place to have a game. It's beautiful.
Keith Price said in the YouTube chat, when we were kids, we prank called Kevin Slayton, and we mispronounced the names of Patrick Roy, which was Patrick Roy, and Mark Messier, and they said Mark Messier on purpose, and he thought we were being serious. That was hilarious. We had my brother Greg do that, and it was Slayton and Claiborne, and Claiborne after. It was so funny. Messing with Slayton. My brother was like, I don't know, he had to have been like 12 years old or something, and he was like a professional prank caller. I was like in awe of him. Like, oh my god, you are amazing. The way he interacted with Slayton.
Didn't he also do the long time caller, first time listener?
That was the same phone call. He goes, long time caller, first time listener, and Claiborne goes, I think get it backwards there, pal. That was so funny. Also, Robert Thomas has a broken hand, which we all knew, but that's still ongoing. So,
you know what though, the beauty of that is it's not an ACL. It's not something crazy to where you need surgery, and you don't know. Okay, we're gonna say 2 weeks to 6 weeks. Broken thumb, you pretty much know he's gonna. Broken hand, or is it thumb? Which one is it?
I think it's hand.
Thumb.
Thumb.
Thumb. It's thumb.
I heard thumb.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's thumb.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. You know that he's going to be out a predetermined amount of time, and he will be back soon. So, again, it's not great news to look at the injury front, but at the same time, it's not something that is, he won't be able to come back from.
It is a broken thumb. Just looked it up. Just to officialize it. It is a broken thumb. I think now is time we should probably exit stage left.
There's nobody on this planet exactly like you. But with ID Life's genetic testing, you'll find out exactly how you're made. You'll learn to work with your body rather than against it. ID Life is the world's only truly personalized vitamin platform based on a personalized health assessment and your DNA. And for the month of February, add a DNA bundle with personalized vitamins to your cart, then click on Your Personalized Vitamins in the top menu bar to take the HIPAA-compliant assessment. After you finish, add your personalized vitamin recommendation to the cart to receive up to $100 in instant savings.
Say what?
I know. Crazy, right? But you heard that correctly. $100 toward the health journey only you can take. Visit rockinthatidlife.com to begin learning about your body today, and tell my friend Dustin that Let's Go Blues Radio sent you. That's rockinthatidlife.com.
Have you had your ID Life yet today, Jeff?
I have.
Yeah.
I have it every day.
Just
Every
checking.
single morning. I have the energy. I have not. I need to order some more hydrate. Unfortunately, I think everybody listening probably knows about the issues going down in Texas. And I think even last week was my big push of, well, hey, they ship from Texas, so it gets here really quick. Well, pretty much everything is delayed in the Midwest right now. So, I'm waiting for my shipment now, but obviously this is unprecedented times. But yeah, I've got some more stuff on the way. Always make sure to stay stocked. I've got plenty more upstairs, and again, great product. Can't speak about it enough. I've done the ID kit before that actually tells me what my body needs, and it was 100% right. I'm going to do it again. I haven't done it yet. I've just been sticking with the energy and the hydrate, but definitely worth a try. And again, text Dustin, because Dustin is a very helpful guy. I mean, he's been a good friend of mine for a very, very long time, but I can tell you that he treats everyone the same way. He's going to treat you like how he treats me when I text him, when I call him to ask him about his opinion on something. So definitely talk with Dustin, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, and will definitely help you out with whatever you need in your journey to betterment with your body.
The Blues finally broke up with the Coyotes after a tumultuous relationship? Do you guys know how you're supposed to break up with a woman? Because
text.
Via text. Steve Martin has some suggestions.
You say, I break with thee, I break with thee, I break with thee, and then you throw dog poop on her shoes.
So, hence the title of the show. If anybody was wondering, that's an old reference.
Yes, it is.
To Steve Martin's stand-up.
I'm sure our young audience really appreciated that.
Well, I mean, it's.
I'm sure our young audience is wondering who is Steve Martin.
Right.
Oh, God, I hope not.
He's the funny guy with gray hair that's had gray hair for like 40 years now.
Yeah, Three Amigos was finally back on TV this weekend. I don't know how long it's been since I've seen it on TV. I think it was on AMC. And God, one of the funniest movies of all time. I absolutely love that movie.
It's so good. My Little Buttercup. Maybe the Blues should have broke up with the Coyotes in that fashion. Smile. Maybe the Blues should have broken up with the Coyotes in that fashion instead they said goodbye with a 1-0 loss. A stretch of 14 games and 24 days ended on Monday in the shutout loss. Game 7 in the series that Craig Berube does not want you to refer to as a series happened Sunday afternoon. Sunday's lineup featured a dressed McEachern, De La Rose, and Poganski due to injuries. So, people kind of forget that when they're being critical of the Blues play in parts of this series. We've had some significant injury issues, so there's that.
And we'll get to it, but I thought they played fine on Sunday. Just a matter of the Coyotes playing a little better, getting a better break.
There were some games in this series where they didn't play particularly well, but the last 4 games, last 3 games, they were good. I mean, they weren't.
I think they figured it out,
and I think
the last 3 games they played really well. The 4th game ago was the last game we talked about on the show, and that was the point with 0.7 seconds left when they scored. For the most part, they played great in that game too. It was just a matter of a breakdown late in the period.
They were 0.7 seconds away from winning the series.
Hey, Berube's yelling at you right now. Don't call it that.
I mean, I get where he's coming from, but I mean, you call a 2-game series a 2-game series. You're doing it back to back, I mean, during the season regularly.
Well, let's not lie. It's kind of fun to talk about it. Like for me, on social media, I was referencing the 1999 series where the Blues came back from 3-1, and it was similar. The Blues jokingly they forced a Game 7 in this series, and it was, hey, remember the last time they had a Game 7 against the Coyotes? I mean, it's whatever. Come on, Berube, lighten up a little bit, buddy.
I mean, I get it. He's pissed, but still. And technically he's right. It's not – I mean, the season's not over. So – but so we had a makeshift lineup, if you will. But late in the first period, O'Reilly is called for interference against Nick Schmaltz, a play where O'Reilly and Schmaltz were battling for position as both skate towards the puck. O'Reilly steps in front of Schmaltz right before they get to the puck, and he does. And as he does that, he makes contact with Schmaltz's knee, and Schmaltz takes his arm and wraps it around O'Reilly's neck, and drags him down. And that all happened in like less than a second. It was a really quick play, and O'Reilly is flagged for interference. This kind of outraged a lot of people, and I wanted to get you guys' take on this because I think, I honestly, an argument can be made either way on whether he interfered with Schmaltz or if Schmaltz should have gotten the penalty. I'm going to say that I hate this call. I think there's a difference between making contact when establishing position in a play when battling for a puck than there is for interference. There's a huge difference. And what O'Reilly did, I don't think was interference. I think he's establishing position in a situation where both guys are battling to get there first. It's incidental contact, if you will, before you get to the puck.
And I don't mean to cut you off, Curt, but I mean, what is O'Reilly supposed to do there?
I know.
I mean, just, hey, go ahead, take the puck, go. I mean, what do you want him to do? And I think the right call on that play, since maybe O'Reilly stepped ahead when he shouldn't have or whatever. To me, at the very, very least, that's a questionable. Should I make a call here? And in my opinion, the answer is no. If you're having to second guess whether you should make the call there, make no call at all. Let the play go. And I think, at the end of the day, I think Blues fans would have been pissed that there wasn't a call on Schwartz, which there wasn't. But let's add the fact that they called a guy on an interference call that where really he didn't do anything wrong. He was just stepping into the puck. Not happy at all with what they did there.
I don't hear you, Bill. You muted.
Bill, what are you? You're saying something there. You're muted.
Sorry. I didn't do that on any work calls today, so I had to do it here. It's the only way I get through a day.
Sure.
Right. No, I was going to say the only thing that I would add here is that it's not a random player that we're talking about. We're talking about Lady Bing finalist Ryan O'Reilly, and you're going to call him for interference on a 50-50 play. The officiating has just been god awful, throughout the series, and Berube's been right to call them out. You had this play, and then the Oliver Ekman Larsson in the later stages of the series. Not series of the 7-game set against the Coyotes, where he gets. Ekman Larsson seems to drag down. I forget who it was, but just completely inconsistent and frustrating. And that was and I right after the goal in the first penalty call in the last game, I texted you guys and said I thought this was it had a feeling that the refs were letting them play, but there was going to be a ticky-tack call that gets made, and that's exactly what happened at the end of the first period. Completely frustrated by the officiating.
And I'll add to Bill what he said there. Friend of the show, Chris Kerber, was on The Point today talking with the Rizzuto show in the morning, and he made a comment about how the NHL has a real problem right now because apparently guys like Tim Peel, who I don't even think is that great. I mean, St. Louisan, so we love him because he's from St. Louis, but yeah. Anyway, guys like him and a couple other guys, they're retiring very soon. Peel's retiring at the end of this year, and there's a couple other guys I think that are retiring next year. So the NHL has to really consider how they're training their officials and how they're going about making the right calls, because eventually you're going to have a whole new group of young guys coming up, and these guys that are considered the young guys in the NHL, they're now going to be the veterans. So right now, our young guys in the NHL as referees and linesmen are constantly under fire, more than I think we've seen in a while. And maybe that's just recency bias, but I just feel like the NHL, I think Chris Kerber's right. I think they have a real issue on their hands with a lot of referees and linesmen coming up that maybe are more prone to make the call rather than not. But I think most fans, most players, most coaches, most anybody in the NHL would prefer you don't make the call if it's questionable than if you do. But I think we're seeing the opposite right now.
It's been a problem. Officiating in the NHL has always been inconsistent and pissed off fans. That's always been the case. Always, it's always been. Fans have always complained about officiating in the NHL. However, since we returned from the pause last season, without fans in the stand in the bubble last season, the officiating has gotten exponentially worse. And there were some articles written about how officiating has changed since the bubble. And apparently fans in the stands have a lot to do with how officials call games. And at least that's the rationale that some folks are using, and it's interesting. I like it's an interesting angle. How you might not. I mean, I think people always felt that fans influence officials to some degree, whether it be a little bit or a lot. But man, it's been. I think they feel like they can call just about anything they want to, anytime they want, without getting booed, heckled, jeered, yelled at. Had the fans go ballistic either way. And I think that's influencing the calls quite a bit. I mean, how else can you explain remember the officiating in the playoffs against Vancouver? It was awful. It was terrible.
Terrible.
It was awful.
Well, not just, and anyone who watched the rest of the playoffs after that, it was bad all the way through.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens when fans return in full force, to see if the officials, go back to the way they were calling it, which was only a little bit shitty, as opposed to a lot shitty now.
Well, I mean, what do you think, Curt? Do you think that fans do have that much of an impact on?
I think fans have some. I think they have some. Sure. I mean, it's just. I think it's just natural, and the officials would never admit it. I mean, hell, what's his name? Kerry Fraser said that there has never been. He never made a makeup call, ever in his career. Ever. We called them. I mean, they had a name. They were called Revlon calls for a reason. They were makeup calls. So I mean, the fact that he doesn't think he ever made a makeup call just shows me that they don't even know they're being influenced by the fans, or that's absurd to me. Because you see it all the time, or used to anyway. A call was made that was like a 50-50 call, or maybe a bad call. They realized later, oh my gosh, yeah, that wasn't a good call. And then later on, you see a makeup call to make up for it. Happened all the time.
I was a referee for maybe 3 months, and I can tell you right now, I made makeup calls all the time. Like, just admit it. We all know it.
Well, just go back to last week, and I forget what game it was, but the game where they called off the penalty halfway through the fucking penalty because the intermission came on and they said, "Oh, we got that wrong." They don't want to be wrong. They don't like being wrong, and they're going to do something to correct it when they are wrong publicly.
The only goal of the game in Monday's game came in the second period from local product and now apparently Blues pest, Clayton Keller. A broken play where Faulk broke up the entry into the blue zone, but the poke check went right to Schwartz, who quickly slid a pass over to Keller inside the near circle at the top of the slot, who let a wrist shot go by Faulk. Went by Faulk off the cuff of Bennington's glove, and then a shot that Bennington will tell you he probably should have had. I mean, I kind of agree. I mean, he makes that save usually. His gloves positioned usually high. I think he just missed it off the cuff and in. So, but I think people want to maybe blame him for the loss. Anytime you lose 1-0, I don't care what kind of goal the goalie gives up. If you lose 1-0, it's not his fault. I don't care what kind of goal it is. It doesn't matter if it's a
I don't
leaky
care if it's
5-0.
a red line goal. Yeah,
I don't either.
Who cares?
I agree.
You have to expect your offense is going to at least output one goal themselves. And the fact that they were shut out, you can't put that on a goalie. I think we even had this conversation years ago. For everybody who says that we were Allen haters back in the day, I believe we had this conversation in a 1-0 game with Allen. It was, well, hell, your goalie is going to make a mistake. You got to score at least a goal and get him to overtime, and then anything happens.
You got to score at least a goal to win. You can't win without scoring a goal. I mean, I don't care. So
right, no, that's totally a shot he should have stopped. And I mean, it was a weak goal, but you don't expect to get into. And no matter what, I agree with Berube. This wasn't a playoff series. It was just the NHL trying to answer to, trying to come up with a solution to the COVID problem. You don't expect to get into, a 1-0 goalie duel after you've seen a team 7 times. You know enough about the other team to figure out what they're doing. I think the problem for the Blues was, Binnington gave up a soft goal, but they should have scored. And had they actually had a full lineup, I think they would have. But when you're rolling Mackenzie McEachern out there, every, he's getting over 10 minutes a game. That's not a good sign for the team, and you're not gonna score a lot of goals. I don't know. I've decided this year I'm not a Mackenzie McEachern fan, and his presence in the lineup is a harbinger of bad things, I think. Not to blame him for the entire thing, but
I want to get onto that too, but I just want to add with Bennington. I mean, his stats after a horrendous start for the Blues defense, 237 GAA, 918 save percentage. I will admit, when I was like, I'm going to look up Bennington's stats earlier today, I was expecting much worse, just because of the way the defense has played. I think he's been phenomenal this year. I think he's been one of the best Blues players. And again, I know that I'm in a way I'm a Binnington supporter. I'm a Binnington fanboy. I've been a fan of his since he came up. But I mean, the guy has been great this year. He's just been I thought Faulk on that play, I thought he turned it over a little too easily. Not saying anything on Faulk. I think he's had a great year too. But again, the Blues score one goal. We're not even breaking down this goal. It's a flyby. Yeah, Binnington should have had it. But then this happened, and nothing ever happened. So it was just it's a big play because it was the only goal of the game. But I think normally this isn't something we're breaking down as much as we are.
I don't think that I wouldn't say that's Faulk's at fault at all. I mean he's reaching out for a poke check. He pokes a puck away. He does his job on this play. He breaks up the play.
Maybe he should be taller.
It's a broken play. I mean, he poked it away. It bounds. It bounds right to Sanford, but it's bouncing, so Sanford can't crowd, so you can't blame him too much. It's just, it was a broken play at the blue line that they took advantage of, and Binnington didn't come up with the save he should have had. I think I think the Blues defense kind of did their job there. I watched the replay. I don't blame anyone. If you're gonna blame somebody, Binnington should have had it. So. That's me.
But again, I think this is just one of those goals that it just happens. I
know. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, I agree 100%. If you're going to put blame on somebody, put it on Binnington. But I think, again, you score a goal, who cares? Goalies are going to give up rough goals here and there. Patrick Waugh had some rough games, and he's one of the greatest goalies of all time. Martin Brodeur, same thing. I mean, I'm not trying to put Binnington in the same conversation as them, but It doesn't matter what a goalie does. If you score goals, if the Blues score one goal, get that game to overtime, it's anyone's game. But they couldn't even put one past Kemper, who was great in this game. I don't mean to take anything away from him.
No,
he was great.
Right.
I mean,
right. You're exactly right. Like if the Blues got a 5-on-3 and had the opportunity to tie. Oh wait, that happened.
yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the 5-on-3.
How many shots on goal did we have
in the second? 12.
24 on the 5-on-3.
Oh, on the 5-on-3, I don't know.
Like one.
Like 4? No, we had 1. Oh, you're right. No, we had. It was different. That was different. Yeah, we had 1. One or 2. Yeah, it wasn't
one. We had 1. It was 54 seconds, I think. That's more than enough time to get more than one shot. And I think the problem with the Blues, we've scored one 5-on-3 goal.
In the
and
past
it was in the
4
playoffs.
years.
It was in the playoffs. In the regular season, we haven't scored a 5-on-3 goal since 2016 or 2017.
It's been a long time.
They need to just shoot the puck a little bit more.
You know what?
Not that I'm the fan that yells shoot, but
let me ask you guys this something. This is something that just came to my mind right now. Not something I was planning on bringing up. Back before Keith Tkachuk joined the Blues, they every now and then would cycle and put Pronger in front of the net and let him screen the goalie, and then they would just fire McInnes, even Turgeon, Hall, whoever it was, would fire shots, and Pronger would just try to screen the goalie. He's a big dude. What do you think about the Blues trying that with Parayko on a 5-on-3? Throw him in front of the net and just tell the other 4 guys, put the puck on net and let's see what happens.
Parayko's a guy who's got a nice offensive upside. He's got skills with the puck. He's not going to go out there and flub the puck when he goes to stick handle. He's talented with the puck. So I think he's a guy you could easily stick down low with the puck, in front of the goal. Now, how good is he at redirecting the puck on tips and things? He's never in front of the goal, so it's hard to tell. We don't know.
Probably never. Probably not at all.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, you want to have somebody who can redirect the puck who's standing in front of the goalie, but still, that's not a bad idea. Remember Blues fans back in the day? I don't know if you remember, Jeff. It was talk radio. They wanted Twist to stand in front of the net. Remember that? Yeah. Because he was big and no one could move him. Put him on the power play because the power play was struggling at the time. And, of course, fans have all the answers with power play, right? Mm-hmm. And they wanted to put Twist in front of the net. And I heard that. And I'm like, what? Okay, first off, Twist is good at one thing and one thing only, and it was fighting. He's one of the best fighters of all time, but he couldn't play with a shit otherwise. Bad skater, couldn't stick handle, couldn't do anything. That was interesting to me.
He wasn't like over the ball either. No. If he was like the Grim Reaper, Stu Grimson, and he was 6'4", okay, maybe, but he was 6'1", 6 foot. Yeah, very
if that. Yeah. Stu Grimson, John Scott, maybe put those guys in front. That reminds me of that might be a step up from the Saturday Night Live sketch when Gretzky was hosting, where they had celebrities coming down to give suggestions to how they should play. It was the caricature of John Travolta said, "Why don't you just get a big fat guy with a board, stand him in goal?" That seems about on the same level as putting Twist out there on the power play.
F117 Nighthawk said, what does this say about us if we make the playoffs? It seems like we are easy to figure out, almost always losing the second game of a series this year, then losing game 7 of this series, which is not a series. Remember? Can't call it a series. It's a set, right. And then she goes on to say, people always want to blame the goalie. It got through all of our men until it got through the goalie. And then can we blame Curt? Sure.
Yes.
Yes. Why not? Sure. Why not?
It's always Curt's fault.
And thank you, Bill. It's not the goalie's fault.
Well, didn't
it's never
you
the goalie's
slap
fault.
shot at the bench and hit a goalie in the head? Didn't that happen once?
I did. I shot. Bill was not playing goal that game, but he was on the bench lacing up or something, and I took during warm-ups took a wrist shot at the half boards on the bench, and it sailed on me and it cracked Bill in the forehead, I think, or the cheek, or whatever it was.
No idea why you would do that.
Who doesn't shoot the puck against the boards?
But it gets
had
the players bench. Come on, man.
Yeah.
we had right.
I don't miss, Jeff.
Guys,
that was like the first time I've done that.
You don't miss?
I don't miss.
Okay.
I don't miss.
Right. We had 4 guys, and I was trying to talk one of the best players at Oak Hill into subbing for us, and he hit me in the head. And so I had to play the game with a concussion, and then Touche didn't want to play with us.
Yeah.
Way to go, Curt.
You got guys shooting at your head on the bench. Yeah. Whatever. I did that a lot, and that was the only time it's ever done that. Sailed on me like that.
And it was to your best friend. What a dick.
I apologize profusely. And Bill got some nice attention from the lady up in the owner's box though.
I would not call that nice attention from the drug bartender.
She was sweet on you, and you know it.
Who's not sweet on Bill? I'm sweet on
one
Bill.
Of the more humiliating moments of my life.
It's a good story now. Sometimes it is the goalie's fault. I'm sorry. Sometimes it is.
No. As a goalie, I'll admit that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is. But in a game where you lose 1-0,
sure, no.
Especially in a game when you had a 5-on-3 and got one shot on that, it's not the goalie's fault.
I guess my point was that sometimes individual goals are the goalie's fault. In a 1-0 game, I think I said earlier that I'm never, ever, I don't care what kind of goal it is, I'm not blaming the goalie in a 1-0 loss. I'm not, ever. Because it's one goal. You can't win when the goalie allows one goal. You don't deserve to win the game at all. Period. Sorry. The non-call on the Oliver Ekman-Larsson goal play where Poganski in the third period. What's that? Yeah, third period. Poganski.
Late in the game. Yep.
Yeah, late in the game, third period. Poganski is scooting by Oliver Ekman-Larsson on the boards in the Coyote zone when he's slowed up by Ekman-Larsson as they get tied up for a moment. And Poganski goes down to the ice. Berube was pissed, called it a hold, and bitched about it later in the game. Everyone on Twitter saying the same. And I'm gonna give my take on this, and then I want you guys' feedback because I disagree with some people online about this play. So at first glance, in real time, I thought the same thing. I thought he was hauled down. I was like, "Where's the penalty?" Lou Korak posted a video of the incident on Twitter explaining why Berube was so upset. Korak said that Ekman-Larsson grabbed Poganski's arm and stick and dragged him down to the ice. So I looked at the video, watched it, and I was like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, wait a second, I don't see Ekman-Larsson actually take his hands off his stick and grab Poganski. So I'm looking at it, and it's a shitty looking video. It's like shot with a potato. It's terrible. I'm like, okay, I want to look at this at better quality. So I go on NHL TV and I pull up the game and I go to the spot in the game where the play happens and I look at it in HD quality and I'm like, Ekman-Larsson does not take his hands off his stick. Now what he does is he, for a brief second, a split second, he puts his arm, chicken wing, down on Poganski's stick as Poganski's stick is underneath Ekman-Larsson's arm. And does it for a second, and Poganski tries to skate by, and he kind of gets off balance, and that's how he kind of goes down. That's how I took it. Ekman-Larsson does not grab Poganski's stick or arm like Korak said, and like other people said on Twitter. Korak said, "Oh, to me." He goes, "You're not looking at the play close enough. It's easy call." I'm like, then it pissed me off. I'm like, what am I looking at here? So I'm like, I don't see it. I don't see a grab by Ekman-Larsson. I'd love to say I did so I can bitch about the officiating some more. Why not? But I don't see it. He doesn't take his hands off a stick. There's no grab and pull down by Ekman-Larsson on Poganski that I saw.
The only thing that I will play devil's advocate, as I do at least once a week. The only thing I'll say, because I actually agree with you, Curt. In a vacuum, that to me is not a penalty either. But that's more of a penalty to me than the O'Reilly interference penalty.
Oh, sure.
And I think that might be because everyone was already frustrated with the officiating, and then that happened, and it was, well, what the hell? Well, they're just not going to call anything for the Blues tonight.
Well, both of, I guess you can. Okay, so the penalty on Ekman Larsson that wasn't called that Berube wanted didn't happen. Okay, what Korak said happened, what Berube said happened. I don't know if Berube didn't see the video after the game; he just saw it in real time. In real time, I thought he was pulled down too. But upon video review, he was not. The only thing that happened, like I said, players can get a holding penalty for clamping their elbow down like a chicken wing on a player's stick, right? That can be a penalty, and he did that for just a half a second, not even. And that's what threw my balance. So if they called that a penalty, I would have said, "Wow, that is a ticky tack penalty," right? Because that's fighting for the puck. That's the stick's there for. He doesn't hold him that long. It's really minor, and I wouldn't have called that anyway. But so I didn't. You know me. I want to get things right, and I'm like, okay, Korak, respected writer. I like Korak. He says that is a definite easy call. Okay, I'll look at it again and closer. I'm like, no, Korak's wrong. It didn't happen that way. I'm not sure what he was looking at.
Friend of the show,
Korak. Yeah, I love you, Lou. But sorry, you're wrong this time. Sorry. I'm sorry.
You can't be right all the time.
How much longer? Yeah, not sure how much longer we can say friend of the show.
I mean,
thanks, Curt.
Kurt's going to get into Twitter spats with him.
There's nothing wrong with being wrong. I admit when I'm wrong online. It's with people, just in a debate. It doesn't happen often, but when it happens, I admit it. It actually just happened today, where the long-term IR, LTIR. I thought that it was not retroactive. You couldn't retroactively apply LTIR, but you can. So I say I was wrong about that. I went to a site, I got bad information, and I reposted it kind of, and I was wrong. I said so.
God damn it, Curt! And you call yourself a podcaster?
I'm honest. I'm fucking honest, and I just tell it like it is. You know what? And that's the thing. That's why we do this show, so you can say what you fucking want to. You don't have to like toe the company line and say and back up. Oh, you can't like go against Berube's comments, or you can't go against so-and-so's comments because it might get your press credentials revoked, or you might not get that question answered you ask next time. That's whatever.
Man, it is nice being able to speak my mind. I'll agree with you there. When I was in the media, that was not allowed. Basically,
that's what I'm saying. So I mean, and I think, and it wouldn't have hurt.
Plus, I couldn't wear a backwards hat in the press box, and that's just terrible.
See, yeah, I mean, I get it. All right, but that's my take. And I think F1179 Hawk video doesn't show that. I rewatched it. Clapping the hands. I think she agrees with me. I hate that Curt is right, let alone Curt and Ponder being right, but they're right. Okay. Yeah. There you go. So she agrees too.
Well, she's also giving Bill props for petting the dog. Pet dog more. Pet it. Good Bill. Pet the dog.
It sounds like she's talking to a dog.
Sorry,
that is one of Bill's fetishes, to be talked to like a dog.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bill. Did you not want me to tell people about that?
Yeah. It's too late.
It's a private conversation that you had before the show.
Cat's out of the bag. No, sorry. I just had to give him his last dose of medicine for the night. He's epileptic, and also wanted to make sure he wasn't about to go and have a seizure, so you guys don't have to witness that. It's not pretty.
Yeah. Nobody wants to witness that.
That would pretty much be the worst thing to ever happen on a podcast.
Yeah, but it's
everybody,
very likely to happen.
Let's Go Blues Radio. Their dog had an epileptic seizure.
Do we continue the show? What do we do? I don't know. Do we just stop the show?
I hope we never find out.
I think it'll the way that it'll happen, because it's likely going to happen at some point, will be that I just disconnect video and you guys will have to go on without me. It's not that hard.
No,
I can't imagine going on without Bill.
We've had to make do before, so we've got a little bit of practice a few times, so we'd be okay. I think not as good, but we'd be okay. We'd be okay.
I don't function as well when Bill's not here.
Kemper made 24 saves in the shutout. Bennington made 18 of 19 saves. Blues were over 2 on the PP. Blues were 4 for 4 on the PK. Blues were out hit almost 2-1, 30-16. I hate that stat. I've said it before. It's like the most inaccurate stat in hockey. I I don't even know why I put it up there.
I remember in the playoffs in 19, I think we even had this discussion on the show. There was a game where the Blues won, and everybody was concerned. Well, they were out hit. That's the Blues MO. They hit people, and they forecheck, and they got to get more hits than the other team to wear them down. And it's like, if you're hitting, that means you don't have the puck. The Blues had the puck for 90% of that game. So I agree 100%. It's such an outrageous stat. And the fact that people focus on it is ridiculous.
Got 7 points in the 7 games. So all in all, it was a nice recovery after losing the 3 of the first 4 games in the series. And like I said before, they were 0.7 seconds away from winning 4 of the 7 games. So there's that silver lining. A number of the games have been rescheduled that were postponed. The NHL announced Tuesday that several of the postponed games involving the St. Louis Blues, Colorado Avalanche, and Minnesota Wild have been rescheduled. 2 of F117 Nighthawks teams, if I do recall correctly. She is from Colorado. So, in addition, the March 27th game between the St. Louis Blues and Anaheim Ducks has been rescheduled for March 28th, and 2 games against the San Jose Sharks now have earlier start times, which one of them is, I think, on Saturday, which they bumped up by an hour. I think it was an hour. Was it 7 o'clock start time here, and then they bumped it up to 6?
That sounds right. Yeah.
For some reason. Why was that? Why bump us up an hour? I didn't think
for daylight savings time.
Maybe they're televising it and they're doing back 2 games, one after it too on NBCSN or something. I don't know.
I think maybe it's that Ryan O'Reilly has a doctor's appointment at 9:30, so he wanted to make sure the game was over by then.
Right.
No, he doesn't have a doctor's appointment.
He's got a cavity. He's got to get a cavity.
No,
filled.
he's got a car shield shoot.
That's what it is.
I hear Hulk Hogan's going to be on the next one, so tune in.
I'm tired of the wrestling and hockey crossover. I'm tired of it. So, and there's 1, 2. Stop it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Banned from the show. You're 2 minutes. Mute for Ponder. 7 games. Scheduled time change. So it's on the Blues website. I'm not going to run down the list of games that are changed. So, the Athletics NHL projections as of today, the 17th of February. So they did an article, and it's going to be updated every day with projected standings, divisional probabilities, and daily playoff chances for kind of like Money Puck, I guess, has been doing in a way. But this is not in as cool it's not in a cool pie chart fashion. But they've got the projected standings at the end of the season. Colorado with 76 points, Vegas with 73, the Blues with 69, and Minnesota with 64. And Arizona missing the playoffs at 62 points, which I think would make us happy, not seeing them in the playoffs. So
yeah, I just, if we get to the playoffs, we're going to play Arizona in the playoffs at some point.
Arizona.
It's going to happen. Can you imagine though, with this crazy year and the the non-standard rules, us playing Arizona for the Stanley Cup? That's crazy.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
No.
That's all I'll say.
No. Hell no, man. Would you rather play Colorado, Vegas, or Arizona?
Somehow give me Chicago for the Stanley Cup.
That would be beautiful.
Colorado, Vegas, or Detroit. Colorado, Vegas, or Arizona. Would you want to play in the playoffs?
Colorado.
You want to play Colorado?
Honestly, yes, because I think that would be the most entertaining.
Oh, I agree. But as far as like the Blues' best chance of moving on goes,
I think Vegas.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I mean,
give me Vegas.
I'd rather play Arizona. Give me Arizona.
Yeah. I want to see Binnington, like, out of all those teams, Binnington in a series where it has to matter, because this 7 games against Arizona, Berube's right. It wasn't a series. It was just 7 games that we had to play against them back to back because of COVID. Put Binnington, like that. put Bennington in a must-win series against that team, no way we lose. If he can get back to the form that he had when we won the Cup in 19.
Real quick,
Vegas, Colorado, I'm scared.
The division that the Blues should be in, Florida is number 1. Chicago is number 2. I questioned early in the season if Chicago would win a fucking game this year because they were so bad.
Well, they've won 7 of 9.
Wow. How?
They're playing well.
I know.
They won tonight too.
But they've also played Detroit like 4 of those games.
And they won. They played Detroit tonight and won 2-0, I think.
Yeah, Detroit's awful.
Yeah.
But I mean, Chicago's going to make the playoffs in that division. They have no right being there.
So they got the Blues. They got the Blues at a 12% chance to finish first in the division, a 23% chance to finish second, 33% chance to finish third, 20% chance to finish fourth, and then a 9% chance to finish fifth out of the playoffs. So
I don't care. As long, honestly, whoever I don't remember if it was Berube or if it was Hitchcock. I don't know, one of the Blues coaches in the past has said, "Just get us to the playoffs and we'll take our chances."
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't care who they play, especially now with kind of a lack of home ice advantage. Put them in the playoffs. I put them against everybody in that division. And I know I disagree with you guys here, but I think Arizona, for whatever reason, they've got the Blues' number.
Yeah,
That's
but
the one face.
Yeah, but how many times do you see it in the past where a team has a team's number in the regular season where they win a series, and they in the playoffs it doesn't happen the same way. F117 Nighthawk says we aren't beating a healthy Colorado. I watched them, so I think she just shut you down there, Jeff.
Oh! You watch them because you live in Colorado. Well, guess what? I watch them too, and I think the Blues. I think they can beat them. I really do. I think a healthy Blues squad. And give them 56 games too. I think we're still seeing this team figure it out. They're still figuring out how to play together. You got guys like Kurt. Can you guys haven't hear me?
I can hear you, but you're staticky. You got a lot of background hiss and static.
How about now?
It's gone now. It comes and goes, but yeah, it's gone now.
Okay, great. Well, anyway, I think the Blues are still figuring out. You look at that second pairing of Krug and Faulk. I think they're still trying to figure out how to work together. I think Hoffman is still finding his way in this system. You give him 56 games, and again, I trust Coach Craig Berube more than anyone. I think this team could fight anybody in this division, and I put them up against Colorado. I think it might take 7 games, but I think there's a good chance the Blues walk away from that series.
Here's the problem too with Colorado is that they are the past couple of years they've had a hard time staying healthy. They've had a lot of injury problems. Last year they were bad. They were horribly hit with injuries, and then the pause happened, and then everyone was concerned about, oh my gosh, now they're going to be healthy when they come out of the pause. Remember that? And that didn't pan out for him. So, but I think a healthy Colorado team scares me. But I mean, yeah, I'm with you, Jeff. I mean, the Blues are good enough to beat anybody. They can be. I mean, they're good enough to win the Cup this year if they play their best hockey and they play consistent. But it's just a matter of that happening. That's the question.
Agree.
Right. The last thought the only thought that I'll provide on Colorado, because I haven't made one at this point, is when it comes down to it, if it becomes a question of goaltending in that series, I'm gonna like the Blues over the Avalanche. Either Francouz or Grubauer. Bennington in 19 form, and again that's it's kind of like I feel like a broken record, the classic rock fan. Oh, giving Bennington in his peak, but if he rises to that occasion like he did, if he can play like that in a 7-game series, more so than could Grubauer or Francouz. So
the only issue I have with this entire The Athletic article, everyday updated thing, is that it's all generated using advanced stats. That's the only issue I have with it. It's fine for fun and conversation like we're doing now, but I wouldn't put a whole lot of stock in this. It's not based on, experts who watch the games every day and these teams, and they're weighing in with their opinions, and then they get the average of the score for everyone's opinion. It's all based on advanced stats. So take that with a grain of salt for what this says. I think, but
big grains of salt.
Big grains of salt.
To put it in perspective, what Curt's saying, back when 2 years ago, when the Lightning faced off against the Blue Jackets in the playoffs, every single projection they did with advanced stats, Lightning in 4. Guess what? It was Blue Jackets in 4. So it really doesn't. You can't put too much stock into that.
Yeah, agreed. The up next for the Blues is Thursday night versus the San Jose Sharks tomorrow night. If you're listening to this podcast tomorrow, it's tonight.
The who?
The San Jose Sharks. It is not the red team from Arizona.
Are they Sharkotes?
I was going to say, are they a minor league affiliate of the Arizona Coyotes?
They play like they are. Oh,
and
any Teal Town folks listening?
Connor Garland is their number one winger, right?
No.
Who's in net? Kemper, Rand.
They say Ekman Larsson has not Ekman Larsson. Carlson, Erik Karlsson has a groin injury. Did you hear about that? What's his name? Let it slip during an interview that Karlsson has his injury is a groin injury.
And it's been there for the entire time that he's been a member of the San
Pretty
Jose
much,
Sharks.
yeah. Pretty much. And what AJ Strong said probably is because, AJ Strong says that Erik Karlsson is a lazy player, and he has constant groin problems, which kind of is not something that is surprising if a player is lazy. Because if you're lazy, you're not fully stretching out your groin before the game. You're not prepping the way you should, and I can see a groin being a problem because if you're not fully stretching before a game, the groin is the first thing that's going to hurt you. Your groin and your hamstring.
And I'll tell you, and Bill could probably speak to this too as a goalie, but I have had a groin injury once in my life, and I'm very lucky to say that because I played hockey since I was 12 years old. I stretch thoroughly before games. I, run on a treadmill before I play, even men's league. I'm like, okay, go put, even a quarter mile on the treadmill just to stretch yourself out. One time I was busy all day. I showed up to the rink. The game had started. We were low on guys, and literally like the minute I got on the bench, they're like, Jeff, get out there. And I pulled my groin in my third shift. And I said again, I'm like, I don't care if they need me right away. They can skate 3 or 4 guys. Well, I'm going to stretch.
It's better than someone else pulling it.
Well, that's always the joke, right? Yeah, I pulled my groin last night. Felt so good, I pulled it again.
Rapid fire.
So I was just going to say real quick on that point, the only serious injury from hockey that I ever suffered was a pulled hamstring. I was a dedicated pregame stretcher, and I worked out the groin enough not to ever pull that during a game, but I haven't played in a long time, so I can't imagine what prep's going to be like if I get back out there.
AC Generator in the YouTube chat says he cut himself shaving, I guess talking about Karlsson, with an old-fashioned razor. Segue.
I love how
it was a non-manscaped product.
Right.
Our listeners are trying to set us up for segues. We had one earlier from Austin Lynch trying to set us up. And I'm like, you guys realize you don't have to do that, right? Like, you can just listen to the show, enjoy it.
Oh, they're having fun. No, I appreciate it. And yeah, exactly. Yeah, an old-fashioned razor, and not the high-tech Manscaped razor that you can get 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com with promo code LGB. That
Damn right.
damn right. It's good stuff. Check it out. Visit the site. Just go to the site, check it out, look around. And if you see something you like and want to try out, use the code. It's free shipping and 20% off. Manscaped.com.
I was going to say, before we get into the next segment, the rapid fire hockey tidbits. I apologize for not getting a chance with my hectic work schedule to add this into the outline, but I did want to throw a shout out there. The last game of the set with Arizona, Andy Strickland had a piece on Jay Verity, who is now assistant coach with the Arizona Coyotes. And it was amazing to me. So Jay Verity was another kid from Cahokia that grew up playing hockey, and he had the dedication to stick with the dream and chase the dream all over the place. He was in Salmon Arm for a while in the Western League, chased it all the way over to France to get some head coaching experience. Had a gold medal on the 2010 World Junior Championships as the video coach, and he's made his way. I think he had a season with Kingston in the OHL before getting the head coach of the Roadrunners, the Tucson Roadrunners, the Phoenix minor league system, and is now an assistant coach in Arizona. If you didn't catch the segment that Strickland did on it, highly recommend you go back and look at it. Verity was not a name that was, he was a carpool mate of mine at CBC. So I'm extremely proud that he had the dedication to stick with it. And, he is really, he's living the dream. Congratulations, Jay. You're going to make an NHL head coach someday. And it was great to see that. Glad Strickland called it out. But if you didn't catch that, I think it was towards the end of the second period, beginning of the third period, Strickland had a piece in the seventh game against Arizona. Go back and watch it and learn about Jay Verity. Great guy. And awesome Cahokia alum, CBC alum.
Friend of the show.
Future friend of the show.
I was gonna say, Bill, I will talk with you off the air, but I think that would be a very good guest to have for a future off-season show. Did you post the photo that you had with him when you guys were playing together?
I didn't post it on it. Too many other people involved in the photo, so I wasn't comfortable posting it online. But maybe I'll excerpt that, because I can crop it to because he was right next to me in that photo. But our photo from Schwartz, that was great. He's amazing to think. And going back to our playing days, I've never seen somebody so dedicated to the game. Not surprised that he made it this far as a coach. So again, congrats. Not that I think he'll ever listen to this show, but if he does, congrats, Jay. Super proud, man.
Oh, he's going to listen to the show, and don't you worry, I'm going to clip off what you just said. I'm going to send it to the Coyotes. So he will hear this.
Tuesday night, Nazem Kadri helps out the Blues by getting a game-winning goal for the Avalanche with less than a minute to go versus the Golden Knights. Who are you rooting for in this series? It's not a series, this two-game series. Who would you like to see win? The team that's ahead of us that a lot of people pick to finish second, or the team that's behind us that a lot of people pick to finish first?
I could make a really bad joke here. I don't know if I should. The timing's probably not right. But you know what? I've had a couple drinks, so I'm going to do it. Channeling my Leslie Knope from Parks and Rec, if anybody remembers that episode. I've had a couple drinks, so screw it. I hope they both get COVID.
Okay.
But not until late
I'm
this
kidding.
season. Not
I'm
until
kidding.
the playoffs.
How about just oh God, why am I drawing a blank? I want to say McDavid, not McDavid.
David Abisher.
No,
Connor
McKinnon?
McDavid.
McKinnon.
Nathan
Jesus.
McKinnon.
Nathan McKinnon. Yeah, just McKinnon. We can. There without McKinnon, we're fine.
Bill, do you like that David Abisher throw in there?
I like it.
That was for you, buddy.
Heir apparent to Patrick Waugh, David Abisher. Swiss great.
Swiss.
David Abisher.
Yeah, Swiss goalie. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm greedy. I want the Blues to finish first, so I'm all about the team ahead of us losing.
Yeah.
It's basically, you're hoping for no overtime.
Oh yeah. Oh
yes.
Overtime. Yeah, overtime sucks. No 3-point
I'd
game.
I'd say split series, no overtime. That's
okay.
That's really what we want.
That's fair.
The
fair.
IC generator
Do you have
has
any
that split with no OT games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agree completely.
F1179 Hawk says, how do you forget Nathan? I'm like, I'm sorry. McDavid popped into my head and I couldn't get rid of it and I couldn't think of McKinnon's name. It's just the way it worked. And she apparently, I was gonna say that she said she asked for the promo code for Manscaped and she's buying something. So, and she's gonna let us know how it is for women.
I will tell you the trimmer. Damn it, Curt, help me out here.
Lawnmower 3.0. We can't think of McKinnon. We can't think of the lawnmower.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't imagine it would not work for women. It is unbelievable. The way that it works for men is unreal.
She should pick up some ball deodorant too. Like right here.
Yeah, women smell down there too.
Sure.
Why not?
Sure. I mean, the lotion don't know.
Yeah, Curt, I was just going to add to your point about not remembering McKinnon, and obviously now with me lawnmower. We're doing a live show here. You ever listen to a radio show? They do the same thing. So any of you people who are like, oh, these podcasters don't know the leading score for the name of the Colorado Avalanche, try doing this live. It's not easy. And I'm talking to you, Blues Hockey Podcast, and two guys, no cup or whatever the hell their name is.
Do they?
Two guys, one cup.
Two guys, one cup.
No, two guys, one cup. Yeah. I'm kidding. I love those guys. They're all great.
Yeah.
Except Jason Martin.
You know what those two shows have in common? They are not the original St. Louis Blues Hockey Podcast.
I knew you were going to say that. I'm so glad you did.
I mean, it's funny because it's true. Anyway.
What's another blues? Last Minute Blues podcast over at The Point.
Yep. Blue Notes.
They are not the original. Blue Notes. They are not the original.
No.
But you know what? You guys do a great job in your own right, and keep it up. We love Blues hockey talk. Keep it up.
The Coyotes have alleged to have a toxic work environment, and apparently it's a shit show. So according to an article that was written, I think it was The Athletic.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Katie Strang.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who does a great job.
Not according to the Coyotes. The Coyotes organization was accused by multiple people of having a toxic work environment under owner Alex Morello, who purchased the team less than 2 years ago. Potential franchise irregularities such as late payments to players, and also workplace culture issues, and at least one alleged sexual harassment case and other matters. And their 2020 first-round pick, Mitchell Miller, admitted to bullying a black developmentally disabled student 4 years ago and also used racist language. Do you think Armstrong wants out of there now? Or, I mean...
Well, it was funny because if you look at their statement, they made a statement today about I think it was today, maybe yesterday, about how Armstrong is a Stanley Cup winning GM and how he was happy to come there. And it's like, you do realize you didn't get the Stanley Cup winning GM, right? Like, that's not the one you signed.
You got the assistant GM here. You didn't get the GM.
Yeah.
Right. No.
Assistant to the GM.
Right. Not to take away,
Exactly.
the contributions that he made, but he was definitely not the GM here. I thought, Rob from Game Time had one of the better tweets about this, that you think Billy Armstrong woke up this morning and realized that he's no longer in an organization that just kowtows to the media and has to actually answer a hard question every now and then. I thought that was a great comment. Paraphrasing, and probably said more than he did, but I'm drunk. So.
Katie Strange does a great job, and I did read her original post before this came out. And again, she's an athletic writer. If you've never heard of her, she's honestly, and I'm not just saying this because she's kind of under fire right now. She's one of my favorite writers at The Athletic. And again, maybe it's because I kind of sort of follow the Coyotes because of Bill Armstrong and Clayton Keller and other players. But I was not happy with their response to this. I think she's the type of journalist who's going to do her due diligence. She's not just going to take hearsay. So I don't know. I mean, obviously the Coyotes had to come up. They had to come out with some response, right? They couldn't just let that kind of thing go and just not say anything. So of course they're going to refute what's said. But again, if you
to go for character assassination, that's awful.
She does great work. I mean, everything she wrote before that was great too. So I mean, shame on you, Coyotes. Make the right call and just stick with your no comment. If you really have a problem with it and it's not true, just no comment. We're not going to talk about this,
or we'll address it internally, something like that. I don't. Yeah, you could have said so many better things. I think we are wrapping the show up. You guys, anything else you want to add before we sign off?
I'll just add a quick Ponder Cup announcement.
Sure.
Actually, Bill and Curt, this is news to you guys too. But again, my friend, the Stanley Ponder Cup, who I'm trying to hold properly so you can see, is in studio with me tonight. Real quick, for anybody who's interested, we did sign up in full. We have all 5 teams filled, but this is a new announcement. We're adding a 6th team.
Oh.
So it has not been official yet, but heads up to anybody who wants to play. That means we'll have about 9 spots open. So anybody who wants to come out and play, we're adding a 6th team to the tournament this year. So we will have signups open as of right now.
Still top 4 make it advance?
We're actually going to have all 6 teams are going to make the playoffs.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you're guaranteed 4 round robin games and at least 1 playoff game.
Cool. Wow. A lot of
all
hockey.
For $50. All for the great price of $50.
That's
and if you sign up now, you'll get a free tote bag. I'm kidding.
It's a lot of hockey. It's a lot of fun too.
It is. Great time.
Support for Let's Go Blues Radio is brought to you by Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-waist grooming products. Get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com with code LGB. Look good, smell good, feel good with Manscaped. And by ID Life, the world's only truly personalized vitamin platform based on a health assessment of your DNA. Visit rockinthatidlife.com for more information. That's rockinthatidlife.com and get 10% off by texting Dustin at 636-393-8745 and tell him Let's Go Blues Radio sent you. That'll wrap up episode 23 of season 9 of the original St. Louis Blues Hockey Podcast, Let's Go Blues Radio. Thanks for listening, and thanks to those who participated in the YouTube and Facebook live chats during the live show. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. For Jeff Ponder and Bill Dam, Curt Price, until next time, everyone, let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
The Chiefs are at home tonight against Cyanosport at the War Memorial at 8. Good seats are still available.
A look at sport.
I think that went very well.
Thank you for listening to Let's Go Blues Radio. Now take off, hosers.
I want you to have a heart attack and die so that we never have to do this shit again.
Well, there's 90 minutes of your life you'll never get back. Sorry.
St. Louis Blues, St. Louis Blues. Have you heard the news about our St. Louis Blues? They've only just begun, they're on their way to number one. Now there's no more blues for our St. Louis Blues. The Blues are